Distant Relative, number 1, ridden by Michael Hills. 2 is Mark of Distinction, Frankie Dettori. 3 is Safawan, Walter Swinburne. 4, Lunar Mover, John Reed. 5 is Magic Gleam, Pat Edery, odds on to win his 4th Royal Ascot Ritz Club Charity Trophy. 6 is Mirror Black, ridden by Bruce Raymond. 7, Monster Gem, Steve Cawthon. 8, Vague Shot, Basil Marcus. And 9, Oldbourne, Paul Edery.
Producers a joint favourite in the first race. Safawan and Distant Relative are on 2-1. Mark of Distinction 6-1. Monster Jam 10s to 1. Magic Gleam is 12-1. Allborn 16s. Mirror Black on 20s. Lunar Mover 33-1 and Vague Shot 100-1.
Yes, that's it. Allborn nearest to us. Under orders, and they're away. Pretty good even break too. Pat Edery making his way over immediately, you'll notice, from the left of the picture on Magic Gleam, coming right over towards the stand side to join Monster Gem. These being followed by Allborn. Vague Shot racing wise of the others. Tracking the 2 leaders is Lunar Mover with the sheepskin noseband, but it's Pat Edery on Magic Gleam, come right over from stall 9 to the stand side to make the running. The champion jockey from Monster Gem. Vague Shot on the far side, Distant Relative on the near side, with Allborn close. Lunar Mover just in behind them, past the 5, well past the 5, and still Magic Gleam with Monster Gem trying to press him towards his outside. Then Vague Shot just in behind them. Distant Relative traveling smoothly, so's Allborn. They're coming down past the half-mile mark, and as they do so, it's still Magic Gleam. Magic Gleam in the lead, on the near side, making ground all the time is Distant Relative. Allborn just in behind them. Monster Gem has dropped right out of it. They're coming down to the 2 pole now. Making good ground is Mirror Black towards the left of the picture, towards the outside. Allborn has taken it up. Mark of Distinction is moving well just in behind the lead too. And it's Distant Relative who's just about taken it up from Mirror Black. Magic Gleam on the near side, and here comes Mark of Distinction and Frankie Dettori to come and storm into the lead on the near side. Mark of Distinction taking it up now as they race towards the line. It's Mark of Distinction who's going to win it from Mirror Black at the line. Mark of Distinction's the winner. Mirror Black is second. Third was Distant Relative, and 4 Magic Gleam. And tailed off last, dramatically tailed off last, was Henry Cecil's representative, Steve Cawthon's ride, Monster Gem, who finished about a furlong behind the remainder. But no doubt about the winner, Mark of Distinction, owned by Mr. Gerald Lee, trained by Luca Cumani, who won it back in 1987 with Then Again, and ridden by Franco Dettori. Officially, it's a photograph, but there's no doubt about the winner. Second was number 6, Mirror Black, owned by Mrs. C.A. Webster, trained by Peter Makin and ridden by Bruce Raymond. And third was number 1, Distant Relative, owned by Mr. Wafiq Saeed, trained by Barry Hills and ridden by Michael Hills. Fourth was number 5, Magic Gleam.
First number 2, Mark of Distinction, 7-1. Second number 6, Mirror Black, 20-1. And third, number 1, Distant Relative.
All in, under orders. And they're away. And Alcando left quite a little bit, dwelt in these stalls, and Relief Pitcher and Steve Cawthon go on in the early stages from Dolpo on the inside of Bat's Hoof. Then Legal Case on the outside of Pelorus. Behind them Scenic, and then comes Terraman and Alcando, and Relief Pitcher passes the mile post with a good 3-length advantage, blazing the trail at a very fast pace on this firm ground, with Dolpo in second and Batshoof third. Scenic goes 4 ahead of Legal Case and 5. Behind them come Pelorus, and then Terraman and Alcando pass the 7 pole, and Relief Pitcher and Steve Cawthon by 4 to 5 lengths. From Dolpour, then Batshoof, Scenic on the outside, Legal Case, Pelorus, Terraman and Alcando. Coming up to the 5 marker now, Legal Pitcher, still Relief Pitcher with his commanding advantage. A good 6 lengths clear of Dolpur in second, Batshoof third, Scenic 4. Racing past the half-mile pole, Relief Pitcher is still well clear of Dolpur in second, Batshoof making good ground now in third, 4 Scenic, 5 Pelarus, 6 and 7 A Legal Case, and Terminal Can Do is the back marker. Steve Cawthon is still clear as he turns into the straight and racing towards the 2 furlong pole in this Princess of Wales Stakes. Relief Pitcher about three clear now of Batshoof and Pat Edery moving into second and threatening them now as Relief Pitcher is under pressure and Batshoof is being shaken along. Then comes Dolpur and then Terriman and then Al Can Do making ground from the rear. Relief Pitcher on the far side by only half a length now from Batshoof, who's challenging. It's Batshoof and Terriman putting in a tremendous run to the near side. Relief Pitcher, Batshoof and Terriman as they come to the line. Relief Pitcher and Batshoof, it's a photo. Batshoof and Relief Pitcher. Batshoof on the near side, Relief Pitcher on the far side. Terriman was third in Legal Case 4. It's a photo with Batshoof possibly just getting up on the near side to head Relief Pitcher, but my goodness, Steve Cawthon did not want to be denied. But it looks as though his great rival, the champion Pat Edery, has just touched him off on the line. It's close between these two. The favourite Batshoof, number 2, and Relief Pitcher, number 5.
He's had 2 runs this year, running third to Tyrrell, the subsequent winner of both the English and Irish 2,000 guineas. Shavian was third to Tyrrell in the Craven Stakes at Newmarket, beaten by a short head and a length and a half, and he ran fourth to stable companion Razim in the 1.25 mile predominant stakes at Goodwood. He's a half-brother to Pian, who won the Ascot Gold Cup over 2.5 miles here 3 years ago, and in very soft going too, but whereas Pian was by Bustino, Shavian is by the miler Chris, who actually won this race, ridden by Joe Mercer. But Shavian hasn't really gone out in front in his 2 races this year. He's been up there, but I think possibly Steve will be anxious to set a stronger gallop this time. Though whether he'll actually be in the lead with the likes of Anshan and Eton Ladd, I don't know. It looked there as if Rock City was going to go in backwards for a moment. Rock City just a little bit on his toes. The parade certainly doesn't help these horses. They get very restive. When they're mounted in the paddock, they know that there's a race coming up and they have to wait a long time for it. Lord Fleury, 9-4, clear favourite. 4-1 Royal Academy, 9-2 Anshan, 11-2 Rock City, and it's 10-1 bar the 4. The 3 yet to go in are Shavian, Royal Academy and Call to Arms. Shavian goes straight in to stall 4, the high numbers nearest to us on the inside. That's Call to Arms going in. Here's Royal Academy. Just going to have a look before he goes in. Another one in the sheepskin noseband. And the blindfold goes on, and he goes backwards a bit further. He knows where the stalls are at the moment, but it's curious how easily the horses lose their sense of direction after a turn or two, and they can be fooled quite easily. But Royal Academy is not going to be fooled because he's shaken the blindfold off, and I think they've decided that he's better off without it. It was only upsetting him. Some horses it doesn't seem to upset at all. And he was nearly going to go in, and then he said no, just at the last minute. Royal Academy, drawn 1 from the inside at number 8. John Reid will be anxious to drop him in to try and conserve his stamina. The one nearest to us is Rock City in stall number 9. On goes the blindfold again. The handlers try to reassure the colt, who's throwing his head about a lot, and wonder if he'll throw the blindfold off again. Yes, it certainly worked last time, and I'm afraid he's not at all keen on the idea. A few years ago, they were very strict on the number of chances they gave horses, but recently I've seen horses given a dozen chances or more. And nearly that time, that was the nearest he's got to going in.
One last run in.
And they're going to try and get him in fast.
Take him away.
Take him away, the starter says. So here's Peter O'Sullivan. Royal Academy will not take part.
So it's 8 runners. Rock City just a little bit slow. Call to Arms was very slow. And Shavian has gone on in the early stages. Shavian gone on from Anshan on the inside. Booked the band on the outers right up there too. But Shavian making it from Anshan. Booked the band. Then on the far side is Eton Lad. Just behind Eton Lad is Rock City, who made up that ground. And behind Rock City is Call to Arms. And then Dashing Blade on the outside of Lord Flory, who's one of the back markers at the moment. And it's still Shavian who's making it. Shavian and Steve Cawthon, who tried to make all on the previous race. In the previous race on relief, Pitcher has a 2-length advantage at the 5 furlong pole from Rock City, who's moved into second. Anshan is third on the outside. Book the Band comes next, and then Call to Arms and Dashing Blade, and behind them Lord Flory and Eton Ladd. Still Shavian passing the half-mile pole with a 2-length advantage over Rock City in second. Anshan third. Book the Band 4 on the outside. 5 is Call to Arms. 6 is Dashing Blade. 7 is Lord Flory, who's got it to do from there. And 8 and last is Eton Ladd, with of course a non-runner in this Royal Academy and turning for home. And once again Steve Cawthon has a 2-length advantage, this time on Shavian. Rock City is second, the Jim Crack winner on the outside. Then comes Book the Band, and Sean is trying to put in a challenge, and here comes Dashing Blade on the outside, but they're racing down to the furlong pole, and it's still Shavian and Steve Cawthon with the advantage from Rock City in second. Then comes Call to Arms, Dashing Blade on the outside. Lord Flory is finding some pace now, but it's too late as they race up towards the line. It's Shavian clear of Rock City. Lord Flory is finishing fast, but Shavian has it sewn up as they come to the line. Shavian has won it from Rock City, and Lord Flory in a photo of second and third. Dashing Blade 4. Behind them came Book the Band and Call to Arms. Behind Call to Arms was Anshan, and last was Eton Ladd. And just to remind you once again that Royal Academy took no part. The result first, number 9, Shavian, owned by Lord Howard de Walden, trained by Henry Cecil and ridden by Steve Cawthon, and it's a photo of a second place, a photo between Lord Flory and Rock City. It's close between them, but it wasn't close for Shavian. The son of Chris out of mixed applause by Najinsky, who won the St. James's Palace Stakes in great style. As we can review with Julian.
And what a brilliant front-running performance this is. Steve went off at a terrific gallop, and not for a moment did Shavian falter. Frankie Dettori not in the best of positions as they come in the straight, and the favourite Lord Flory looking for daylight now to pull out, but it's inside the 2 furlong marker. He's still got plenty to do, and Shavian coming under the whip now from Steve Cawthon isn't faltering. Rock Steady after a slow start, been in contention throughout, not much more to give. On the far rails, Call to Arms has run a really good race until he's got tired. Dancing Blade flatters on the outside, but here comes Lord Flory now, who's got clear and starts to run, but he's got 6 lengths to make up inside the last furlong, and it proves to be just too much. Shavian, these tactics haven't been used on him before, over a mile, and he's proved brilliant today. He's kept on galloping, and he's answered every time Steve's asked him. He hasn't faltered. If he had, Lord Flory might have got in a blow, but as it is, the challenge is too late. He may have snatched second place from Rock City, but Shavian is a staggering winner.
And Shavian, the 11-to-1 winner of this St. James's Palace Stakes, which his sire, Chris, won back in 1979. So what a marvellous family record in this prestigious Royal Ascot Prize. An Ascot Prize which Henry Cecil, the trainer of Shavian and Chris, also won back in 1975 with Bolkonski. Bolkonski, who was ridden by Frankie Dettori's father, Gianfranco Dettori. So Steve quickly off the mark, the Royal Ascot meeting. 1 each now between himself and his great rival Pat Edery, who's odds on for his 4th Ritz Club Charity Trophy title, and 1 of course for Frankie Dettori. This is a race that will have given Shavian's breeder, Lord Howard de Walden, immense pleasure to win. Marvellous to retain this family continuity. Shavian by Chris, out of mixed applause by Nijinsky. Number 46 of the season for his trainer, number 60 for his rider, Steve Korth. Here comes the outcome of the photograph. Second, number 7, Rock City. Third, number 6, Lord Flory. And fourth was number 4, Dashing Blade, who will have encouraged Ian Balding, no doubt, because he looks well on his way back to the sparkling form he exhibited as a 2-year-old. Only his second outing as a 3-year-old. Great improvement on his first effort. So he surely still has a future before him. But how sad that Royal Academy, whose trainer Vincent O'Brien won this in 73 and 78, should have refused to take part, this immensely promising horse.
Well, the Royal scene has very often inspired horse artists to some of their finest work, and certainly Royal Ascot features very strongly in a recent exhibition of work by the distinguished Argentinian artist Adriana Zeffira. Here's how Adriana sees racehorses and the racing scene. This is the artist who created that assembly of talented work, Adriana Zeffira. Adriana, what attracted you in the first place to the horse?
Well, I find the horse the most fantastic mover, and he's such a great, so romantic, such a fantastic, fabulous looking animal. And, I always fancied it as being the best and the most gracious animal on earth, really.
Initially, you intended to work with the horse rather than paint him, didn't you?
Well, coming from a very sort of city-based family, I wanted to get close to animals as I love them so much, and I tried to become a vet until it was a long story, but my father sent me to Europe, and I landed in Newmarket, and that's how I sort of changed my mind about it.
When you came to Britain first, one of your first clients, I believe, was Sir Noel Marlis.
Well, I started, my first commission was on the World's Pageant, what I did for Noel Merlis, and there was a few others that I did for Henry Cecil and Michael Oswald, Oriole, Oriole, and there was some for Mark Prescott and National Stud, like Blakeney, and a few others, which started me off really.
What have been the greatest horses you've ever painted?
Well, my favorite horse has always been Malrief, and I've done also the Brigadier Gerard and Allege, Sadler's Wells, a few others here in England, and then I went over to France and painted Ponies and River Queen and Northern Dancer in America, Le Fabuleux, and some others, which I enjoy them very much.
And you once painted a horse for Her Majesty the Queen?
Oh, the first mare I painted for her was Light Duty. And then I painted her two daughters, were High Claire and... No, the dam was High Light, and I painted Light Duty and High Claire. And then I went on painting Dunfermline and others. It was very nice.
Adriana, your work's been compared to that of the great Alfred Munnings. Now, how consciously have you tried to carry on his tradition?
Well, I'm aware of his influence, but they said that even before I knew him, so I obviously... well, there's certain times of the day when you paint horses, like late in the afternoon, where you paint about with your brush differently, and you paint off the palette with colors differently, and you play about with it. I think that's the way most pictures. If you go around the gallery, I think people will say that those pictures are the ones that look more like Manning's.
And which horse at Ascot today, Adriana, would you most like to paint?
Well, that's Dashing Blade. It's a very, very attractive horse, I think.
But you had to say because Ian Balding's a friend of yours.
Yes, also.
Adriana, we really enjoyed your work.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Written by Walter Swinburne, 2 Bold Nephew, Ray Cochrane, 3 Fital, Richard Hills, 4 Forcing, Dean McEwen, 5 Generous, Willie Carson, 6 Grumbridge, Pat Edery, 7 Hailsham, Michael Roberts, 8 Jim's Wish, John Reed, 9 Maxim, Alan Munro, 10 Soweto, change of colours there incidentally, Michael Canan, 11 Time for the Blues, Kevin Darley, 12 Tinkins Wood, Steve Cawthon, 13 Beloved Visitor, ridden by Christy Roach. Here's how they bet.
And Maxim, not surprisingly, is favourite, and it's 2-1. Fital is 6-1 second favourite. Generous, Groombridge, Hailsham, Tinker's Wood, and Beloved Visitor, all 8-1. Bold Nephew 12s, Soweto 20-1, 33-1 bar these.
Over to Peter O'Sullivan.
Yeah, and as they break, Bold Nephew's just a little bit slow over on the far side. It's Time for the Blues, but Maxim takes it up in the centre. Generous going with him towards the near side with Fital up there too. Time for the Blues over on the far side. In the centre, Maxim on the near side. Generous with Fital. Those are the leading quartet. Tinkwins Wood showing very good speed too over on the far side, but Maxim has the overall advantage now from Tinkins Wood. Time for the Blues over on the far side. On the near side is Generous with Fital, and also not far behind them is Beloved Visitor, but Maxim just with the advantage now as they race past the halfway mark. It's Maxim from Tinkins Wood on the far side, on the near side Generous, and then still Time for the Blues holding his position over on the far side. Maxim though has a commanding lead now as they race well inside the final 2 furlongs. Alan Munro and Maxim is clear. Alan Munro and Maxim clear from Generous. Then Bold Nephew over on the far side, but Maxim surely has this sewn up 150 yards to run, and Maxim and Alan Munro going to win this clearly from Generous in second as they come to the line. Maxim is the winner, Generous is second, and Bold Nephew is third. Tinkins Wood was 4, and that's the 1, 2, 3, 4 in the Coventry Stakes with a very impressive winner here. Maxim, number 9, owned by Tamdown Limited, trained by Bill O'Gorman and ridden by Alan Munro. Second, number 5, Generous, owned by Mr. Fard Salman, trained by Paul Cole, ridden by Willie Carson. And third was number 2, Bold Nephew, owned by Mr. R.C. Thompson, trained by Richard Hannon, ridden by Ray Cochrane. And fourth was number 12, Tinkins Wood.
First, number 9, Maxim, 2-1 favourite. Second, number 5, Generous, 8-1. And third, number 2, Bold Nephew, 12-1.
Well, the King Edward VII Stakes was very often called the Ascot Derby, but you couldn't really say it was a vintage field today, although it included 2 horses who at different times had been anti-post favourites for the Derby, Sazaki and Mokhtar. But in the end, the best-backed horse in the race and the favourite was Private Tender. John Hann was the commentator.
And they're coming to the half-mile marker with still Dorset Duke by 2 lengths. Just over from Air Music, then Muckdam, Private Tender going up to join Muckdam, then Duca Paducah, Regimental Arms, Sasaki and Beecham Express as they turn for home, just under 3 furlongs out, and it's Dorset Duke on the inside, taken on now by Air Music. Private Tender comes up on the outside, Muckdam being ridden along, then Duca Paducah, Sasaki trying to get out, but it's Air Music tackled now by Private Tender. These 2 going on from Muckdam and Duca Paducah. But Private Tender's taken it up, coming to the last furlong. Private Tender and Steve Cawthon from Air Music. Muckdam and Duca Paducah running on the outside, but Private Tender out in front. Air Music rallying on the far side, but Private Tender's going to win it. It's a double for Steve Cawthon, going up from the line. Private Tender's the winner. Muckdam just snatches second. A photo for third, Duca Paducah and Air Music.
Private Tender, the winner, the 11-4 favourite. Mukhtam, in fact, was second, 7 to 2, and the third horse, Air Music, 40 to 1.